Hi.
You're like the perfect student.
I got it. I came in like right when you sent it. I was like, oh, I better be in here. And then I got here and there's nobody here.
Funny. Oh my God. I'm glad that you're here. Okay. I might use this, but I might not. So we'll just kind of dig in. But do you have any questions, like any like podcasty questions that I can cut out, not off
Um,
record?
no, I mean, I've listened to plenty of podcasts in my day. I know everybody's different. They have their own format and the way they like things to go. So I don't want to step on anybody's toes.
Yeah, no, you won't.
But I guess one of my main things, so I'm coming up with these questions, right?
Hmm.
Um, like, uh, uh, do you aim to inform people more, or is this just kind of a chit chat where we're having a good time? Like, should my
Yeah.
questions try to elicit advice in some way? Or should it just be like, what's your favorite movie, Tom?
So
You
fun.
know,
I love it. Okay, I might keep all this. This is great.
okay.
Because
Because I got a lot of questions, but they're all kind of based towards more informative, like, you know, questions
yeah,
and some of them are questions that I have
yeah.
of my own. Not that I'm using this as, an excuse to pepper Mr. Deere with questions or anything.
Yes, I hear you.
But
You're stealing my language.
a lot of them are, things that I'm sure a lot of people, a lot of creatives, especially in the voiceover industry and such, have these questions.
Yeah.
And they're not like super minuscule questions or anything. They're pretty open-ended questions that I'd be interested to hear um, a veteran's take on.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess, yeah, just
That's valid.
if I'm being a bad boy, you could tell me.
I was like, just show up and be pretty. You'll be
Well,
good. Ask some questions.
one of my questions I was going to ask is, do I have to keep it clean? Right.
No,
But
no, you don't have to.
you said in the email that swearing happens, and it's not drink time for me yet. It's still coffee time. So
Okay.
I have coffee.
Oh my God, it's 7 o'clock at night. Jeez, oh
Hmm.
Pete's.
Hmm.
That okay, that's a new Ken like element or like layer of Ken. Cause like I have to stop coffee at like 4. 4:30 is like the max.
I do these days, and this is going to tie in with my chaos, is mostly my family. Um,
Yes.
4 p.m., dude, I'm ready for Betty buys.
Oh, I'm doing something weird with my lights. Keep going. I was
So
like, my lights
I
are doing weird.
I need, like after dinner. So
Hmm.
I'm late. I'm actually late tonight. After dinner is I need a little bit extra
Really?
to keep me moving because once the kids go to bed, that's papa time. That's me time.
Right,
I,
right,
you
right.
know, so
Yeah.
I need to, and then I can crawl my way to 10 p.m. maybe if I'm lucky, and then I go to bed.
Oh my God,
So yeah,
that's
it's
so
still
weird.
coffee time for me.
No, there's no way. I can't drink coffee. I love coffee, water, and vodka, but lately I've been giving up the vodka and just sticking to the coffee and the water. And yeah, so but yeah, 4:30 is it. It's max for me because if I drink coffee much past like 4:35, I won't sleep. Like there's no way I go to bed at 10 o'clock. It would be like midnight or 1. So, and I gotta be in bed at
Yeah.
like 11.
How much do you drink in the morning,
I
would you
don't know,
say?
like I'd say like quite a few cups. Like I'd say at least a cup or two, and then yeah, and then like I'll go back for a third. And if I try to limit my coffee, if I tend to be I tend to feel better when I limit my coffee, but like I tend to really love my coffee, so we have
I
a complicated
I
relationship.
I was at the point
I don't even
where
know.
I was drinking a full pot in the morning and a full pot before
Oh
bed.
my,
And that seemed fine to me. And then
it's fine.
I did
Fine.
a session with Everett Oliver when
Oh,
I was poking around for a new coach,
yeah.
and I emailed him, and he almost immediately just cold called me. Like he got my number off my email.
Wow.
He just called me out of nowhere. And we ended up setting up a session, and it was awesome. He was very generous with his time. It was kind of just like a consult. And this dude peered into my soul, let me tell you. And he goes, you drink a lot of coffee, don't you?" I was like, "Everett, how did you know?" And he basically, his advice, he goes, "Hey, you can still drink coffee, but dial back on it." Like, I don't know, because we had talked about I deal with a lot of stress and stuff. And
Yeah.
he seemed to think that that was winding me up a bit. So I actually did that. I
What do you
reeled it
think?
way back.
Yeah. And
And to like, are the numbers on a coffee thing cups
Yeah, I think so. Like they go
I don't
12 cups, I
So I
think,
went
right?
down to the number 4, right? The number
Okay.
4 in the morning and at night, and I did that for a long time. And I didn't notice a difference. So
Really? I was
so
like, I
I've
was waiting for this momentous,
no, no.
like
I've been
epiphany of like a,
that was in the middle of last year when I
okay.
started that, and I've been creeping my way back up. So I'm between 6 and 8 cups on the coffee thing in the morning, 6 and 8 at night. And for those that drink a lot of caffeine, like, it doesn't
Affect you.
nah, no, not really.
It's
I'll go right to
interesting.
bed after this.
It's interesting that after right, we're gonna put you
Right
right
to
to
bed.
sleep. We're gonna put
Right
you
to
right
bed.
to sleep. The
I hope
podcast is
not.
gonna put you right to sleep. My teenager can't drink caffeine anymore. I used to drink caffeine for like because it helps with migraines when he was younger, and then he gave
Mhm.
up drinking Coca-Cola, and he doesn't drink it anymore. But he'll like try some coffee, but like it's the opposite effect. Like it puts him to sleep. Like drinking coffee puts him to sleep. So he has if he likes the flavor, so he likes coffee ice cream, but he'll do decaf coffee.
Huh.
Which I thought was, was weird. And my call him my man babe because he's my husband's my man babe. But
What I call
and
my
I
wife too, that's weird.
she's your man babe.
Yeah,
She's your man wife.
yeah.
And and he drinks like he would drink a pot. We have 2 pots of coffee. We have 2 pots to brew coffee on the counter and a Keurig. Like we're serious coffee people. Like I think almost every Christmas he's bought me another coffee pot. Like it's like kind of a running joke at this point, if little insider joke. But
Yeah.
yeah, we have 2 pots. He would drink a whole pot himself. That's why we have to have 2 pots because I'm not doing the Keurig thing right now. We're taking a break
Mhm.
on that. And like then he'll drive to work and he'll stop and get like one of those like a Brazilian coffee or like a Colombian coffee or something like it's like a little shot of
Yeah,
coffee.
yeah,
Do you know
yeah.
what I'm talking about? I can't
Yeah.
remember what.
I don't know what it's called,
Yeah,
but
I
I
don't
know it.
remember it's either, but it's like really strong. And then he'll take a monster with him. I'm
What?
like, you, yes. I'm like, you are going
What
to
does he
like
do? What does he do that
he's
he
in
needs?
sales and management, so in
Okay, yeah.
automotive, he's automotive. So, things are pretty intense sometimes.
Mhm.
And I'm like, you are gonna combust. Like, what is happening? Your heart can't handle that. So, yeah, I do drink like maybe a couple cups in the morning and then like I'll go back for like a third. And if I'm
Yeah.
feeling saucy, I'll have like a fourth cup in the afternoon. So
Oh.
I'm a boy mom, so like, I get
Yeah.
that. Like, do you want to talk about your chaos?
My chaos when and I actually
This could be
I
a
w
whole nother episode.
yeah, I just as far as the voiceover goes, there's not a whole lot of chaos right now because, spring has sprung, and with that comes sports
Yeah.
and after school activities
Mhm.
and a 4-month-old who's rolling over both ways now.
Oh, that's
So
exciting.
I used to be able just to set him down and he stayed, now he'll bicycle kick around, he'll roll over and grab stuff he's not supposed to.
Yeah,
And
it's
I'm just
dangerous.
these past couple weeks, so spring break was last week, and just the tornado of places they had to be, kids' birthday parties, field trips that need chaperones.
Yeah,
We're trying to find a daycare for the little one so that I can get some regular work in. But man, and to top it off, there's all these storms coming through today.
right.
And my dad's out of
Spring.
town. My spring has sprung.
Yeah.
My dad's out of town, and every 2 hours, I have to run to his house and vacuum out a drain in his garage because it's
What?
flooding.
Oh
So
no.
so right before I did
So
this,
Midwest. It's so
yes, and I have to run
Midwestern.
back after with a shop vac, and I gotta do that for a day and a half while it's pouring down rain and windy, so
Oh
so
my
side note,
goodness.
actually, if the power goes out,
Then that
if I
I'm
randomly
on my
disappear,
own. I'm on
that's
my
it's
own.
gonna be in Tom. So it's just the whirlwind, and you've been there. You like you
Yeah,
said, you have a family. Um, it's juggling the creative side and the business side with, you know what, my family needs me right now. So that's where I'm devoting a lot of my energy, especially these last couple weeks. But
yeah. It's
that's my
tough.
chaos.
Yeah, I am a boy mom, so I've had like my boys are older though. I don't have a 4 month. Like I'm
Mm.
way out of that phase for sure. My youngest is 10 and he's a voice actor. So we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
And so that's my chaos is just being mom, producer, and director in the booth with my own kid. That can get interesting, especially if it's like they're coming home from a full day of school and then like they get he gets an audition and the rule is you get chill out for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, have a snack. And then if you've got something, you know, an audition from
Yeah.
one of the agents or the management company, like you've agreed that you want to do this because he decided he was a voice actor. I didn't make him a voice actor, like he decided. So
That's how it goes. That's
yeah,
all you
but
got to do is.
yeah, it's like kind of like if you were doing baseball or soccer or ballet or jazz or whatever, music, like this is what he's doing. He's choosing to do it. And but there are some days are just really a lot harder. I mean, it's like any child that you work with would take them to like sports, like one day they're like totally into it and then the next day they're like
Yeah.
kicking and screaming and throwing themselves at the wall because they don't want to do anything. So it's
Yeah.
just parenting. Yeah. So I get that. I totally get
Yeah.
that. Um,
It's a lot,
yeah, it's a little bit, yeah.
but I
But
love it.
they said they said have kids, they'll be fun. And I'm like, wait a second. Somebody actually literally just told me that like the cost of having a kid will cost you $500,000. Like somebody, I don't know, I think it was my aunt. I don't know where she got the number from, but she was like listening to something or read an article about something. I'm gonna have to ask her because she's like from start to finish, like start to like, like they're
Yeah.
out the door, like empty nester. I call it like
Wow.
bird flinging.
Yeah.
It's like
They're gonna
500,000.
they're gonna get tossed out a lot earlier if I got to scrounge up $2 million in the next 18
Right.
years.
I know. I know. It's a lot.
That's I believe it though. It chips away, dude, every little bit. And but I love it. I love every second of it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have my money go anywhere else.
Yeah, I know.
For
That's
sure.
true. I would definitely not be the person that I am today if I wasn't a mom, for sure. It's funny because like being a boy mom, like there's different weird things that happen. I mean, like, just having kids in general, like weird stuff happens. And like tonight I set my phone down on the counter and then I picked it up and I was like, ew, that was in something that I'm not really sure what it was.
Uh,
And I set it down and then I forgot that I was going to wipe it up because I got distracted because it's like, mom life. Somebody needed something or whatever. And like picked it back up and I'm like, oh God, what is this? And I had to like clean it and wipe it off. And I'm like,
yeah,
I don't actually even want to know what it was, but like, and
I
then
it's
go ahead.
it's just funny you said that because we had a mystery sludge incident ourselves.
A
Just
mystery
after
sludge.
dinner,
Yes.
my wife goes to open the refrigerator and someone had slimed the handle. Like there was a mystery
Oh,
slime on it. And
what?
she goes, who was this? And no one would cop to it. And nobody, I couldn't tell what it was. I'm
Oh,
sniffing
don't,
it.
you did not smell it. Oh,
I
that's
did, I
gross.
did smell it. It didn't smell like anything. I
Okay.
didn't taste it though.
Okay. I was going to say
I'm
like,
not that
that's,
brave.
yeah. And it's funny because I had my windows talk about like, the power going out. I had my windows cleaned today. I live in Florida, so we had our windows cleaned. Our guest
Yeah.
is here, yay. And
Hi,
and
Tom.
hi Tom, come on in when you're ready. But I had my windows cleaned and I had a neighbor clean them for me because it's actually just like I couldn't do it myself. And the power washer, hit the breakers, right? So like everything went out, and you would have thought that my kids were like addicts because the power went out, which means the internet went out, which means that like they all came out of their rooms and they're like, What's happening?" And I'm like, okay, just breathe. Everybody breathe. The power washer knocked, I got to go into the garage and flip some switches around. Like, we're good. It's really funny.
Yeah.
Tom,
Hi.
hi, how are you?
Oh, good. How are you?
We're just talking about chaos and
Mm.
the lovely, you know, the parent voyage and how mystery sludge ends up on handles of doors in the fridge and
Gross.
counters and yeah. And it was funny because I was
I
actually
said three.
awkwardly
Three is
okay, ready?
correct. Four is also correct, but
I took it. Hold on, everybody smile.
Okay.
Get it?
Okay.
Did she get
The
it?
Google machine
Yeah.
came through for me.
Awesome.
I'm writing
Okay.
that down on a sticky note so I don't look like an idiot next time. All right.
All right.
Thank
you.
you.
Just drag.
It was my pleasure. It was great
Thank
hanging
you,
with all
Tom.
y'alls.
Yes. All right.
Have
We'll
a
talk
good-
to you soon.
You have a
Okay.
good one. Be safe.
Bye.
Bye.
Command
Shi-
Shift 4, if you click and drag, you can define the area that you're taking a screenshot of, which is
Oh.
what I'm used to.
Are there that many keybinds on a Mac that you need
Yes, there's-
3 buttons to take a screenshot?
There's so much.
There
Like,
are a lot of
yeah.
keybinds. But
I-
that's the thing is it's different styles of screenshots. There's screen recording. So
Oh.
it's like Command Shift 3 is like a full screen. Command Shift 4, you click and drag and it snips the defined area. I think Command shift 5 is the screen record.
It's too much.
Gotcha.
It's way too much, honestly. Like I got sort of reprimanded by my coach and he was like, "You don't use any of your keys?" And I'm like, "No, no, I still go to the drop down stuff." And he's like, "Ah." And then I was like, he wanted me to, download this video. And I was like, wait, if I need to open it up, then if I open it up, like, how do I? And he's like, wait a second, it's already downloaded. You don't need to open it up. You need to just open up two, Finder windows and just put it where you want it. I was like, okay. Okay. Thanks, Ken, for being our guest
Problem.
co-host. Yeah.
No problem. If you ever need me again, let me know.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's more fun. I get spoiled. I have fun when there's a couple of us together, because it just kind of adds a little bit of extra flavor because everybody has a different kind of like question or whatever. Do you guys have or Lloyd, do you have the email with his bio?
Probably. I just have to open these.
So Ken, while he's looking it up, I'm going to what happened? Hold on a second.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Hang on, I'm typing. Okay.
All right. All right. 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Keeping Up with Chaos from the Booth and Beyond. I'm Jozlyn, and Lloyd's here with me, season regulars. We also have our special guest co-host, Ken Dillon, is joining us. Welcome, welcome. And we have the honor of our special guest, Tom Dheere. He is a New York-based voice actor with over 25 years of experience.
Yeah, and that's right. As the self-titled VO strategist, he's narrated thousands of projects for hundreds of clients in over a dozen countries. His experience as a corporate trainer, as well as a voice actor, makes him uniquely qualified to help both aspiring and veteran voice talents navigate the voiceover industry.
He specializes in marketing and business calls. He specializes in marketing and business consultations, as well as diagnostics, strategy sessions, and mentoring. We talk about thinking like a business so you can be treated like one versus acting and being treated like a starving artist.
Yes. This is a great conversation. We're so happy that you guys are here. Be sure to share us with 1 or like 1,000,005 people because when you share us, we all organically grow our podcast and our creative friends. Cheers, guys. You distracted me. I was like, oh, wait, what are we doing? Why are we counting? I was like, why?
You are muted, Ken.
I'm muted.
Okay.
I didn't even know if this was on video. I don't know. I don't know if you keep the video part in for this.
Not for the intro. Not
Oh, okay, good.
usually.
So sorry, I didn't mean to goof you up. Sorry if I fucked you up.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. You did not fuck me up. It's chaos. All right,
Yes, a
go
little bit.
vacuum out.
I'm gonna go vacuum my dad's hole.
Oh my God.
I think Lloyd missed that part of the
Yes,
conversation.
he did miss that part of the conversation.
There is lots of storms moving in. My
Mm.
dad's out of town, and we live in a valley, and there's a drain in the middle of his garage that groundwater comes up when we get a lot of rain. And so like every 2 hours or so, I'm going over there and vacuuming out his hole so that his garage doesn't flood. And the last time I did it was at 6:30, so I'm at 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
Just own a shop vac.
Yeah, most people,
it's very
a lot of people
Midwestern.
own a shop vac.
Yes.
I guess this is a
And a
foreign
rake.
problem to you, I guess. Although if it does rain in Vegas, don't you guys have all sorts of flooding problems, right? Because the water's
Yeah,
got nowhere to go.
yeah. It's. I mean, it also depends on where you live. Like flooding does get really bad, but yeah, I mean, not to the point where I would need to own a shop vac.
Yeah,
See?
I mean, I DIY'd this whole, so I got shop. I mean, everybody has shop vacs out here.
Yeah, I have a shop vac, but I'm from Michigan, so we brought it down to Florida, so that's why we have a shop
Mm.
vac. But I will tell you, it brings us back to the whole like what Tom said. Make sure you don't just answer the question, ask a question to the question, because you never know
Right.
where somebody is, right? And this is great.
That
This is
makes
fantastic.
sense.
It makes sense. All right, have a great night, Ken, and
You too. I hope I sat in well.
Yeah, it was great.
you did a great job.
I was
You will
all
be
nervous. You should see the wall of questions that I had. I was like, oh, I got these questions.
I told you when we bring on a guest, sometimes the most perfect guest, you never have to ask a single question. And then
He did answer a lot of some of the questions that I was thinking about asking just in his
Yeah.
spiel. So
It's not his first rodeo either, though.
no, it's not.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. So,
All right, I gotta go. Thanks,
bye.
guys. Let me know if you need
Bye.
me
Yeah.
again. I'd love
All
to.
right.
All right.
Goodbye.
See
All right.
ya.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
I was gonna
Too.
say I wanted to hear a little bit more about your mocap thing, but I know that it's late and or it's late for me. But
I don't remember where I was.
because I might do a little behind the scenes kind of thing, and if you want to share a little bit more about it, just like,
um,
like a little bit. Was it everything that you thought it was gonna be and more?
um, I
Yeah.
think that, I mean, it was very clear that they're still figuring things out. Like they, like I said, it's new. This like branch or sister company is new for them. They don't even have like a website to go to right now.
Right.
I think that it's weird when you ask, like, was it everything that I thought it would be? Because I knew what it was as far as what I was doing voice wise, like for a character. And I like they sent me the scripts ahead of time, you know.
Mm.
Um, but as far as like the mocap stuff, it wasn't traditional mocap
Okay.
necessarily. It wasn't like I wasn't wearing a suit. You know, they had a camera that was linked to an app, well, a couple of apps, and on those apps they had avatars that they had created beforehand,
Okay.
and they basically mapped the cameras to my face
Mm-hmm.
so that my facial expressions were what the avatar's expressions were,
Oh,
and then they
interesting.
had someone else in a suit who was in the same room and they were doing like the body acting
Oh.
as I was talking.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because it's
Because everyone says mocap, and then it's like you're in like a full body
right,
suit and you're all
right,
hooked up and it's like a big deal, and
right.
it's like, yeah.
So for me,
So
I feel like I would say it was like mocap light, right?
mocap
Because
light. I love that.
yeah, well the thing is
Sorry.
like mocap is very involved. Like obviously voice acting is very involved if you're doing character stuff,
Hmm.
and you want to have like those efforts and motions, but somebody who's acting and doing mocap, it's not I mean they're just acting, like, and obviously voice acting is acting, but like
Sure.
they're acting in the sense that like their body has to be doing what the characters are doing at
Yeah.
all times, right?
Slicing through something or
It's
shooting something or I
yeah,
don't know, doing stuff.
and it's not just the efforts, it's like your physical demeanor, how you
Yeah.
carry yourself,
Yeah.
and at all times. It's not like you're assuming a stance for a line. It's like
Right.
that's how they are the entire time.
Right.
So I
They
would say
embody
very,
it.
very
Yeah.
right. So I would say very light.
That's so funny.
But
You were ahead.
yeah,
You were ahead, but not the
basically.
body.
Yeah. And
There
I
was a
could control
separate
the head
body,
sometimes.
separate head.
Like, yeah.
Interesting. But it was still a good experience. So that's
Yeah, it was
fun.
good.
Something new. You got paid. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
And they
awesome.
complimented, well, I gotta invoice them, but they complimented me, especially because it was like my first time working with the software with them, and
Yeah.
they had stuff they had to figure out. So
Yeah.
there were a couple of complications, which like I think the team that I worked with, like just because I also am cognizant of some more technical concepts, there
Yeah.
were a couple of times where I gave suggestions that maybe as a voice actor you're not giving, but
Right.
they were like, "Oh, that's a good idea." Like,
Right. From your background. Yeah.
right. So it was cool.
And they were open to it. It was like
Yeah.
what a team effort, like a collaborative thing. It
Yeah, I
wasn't
think
like
it
you
was
stepped
good.
on anyone's toes or anything like that. Yeah.
Right. No, they were very open and collaborative. So,
That's cool. I
yeah.
mean, that's like kind of like how it is when you said like invoicing, that's like that whole businessy side of things, like how to strategize and, be the business side on things. And I'm like just realizing that I'm having a hard time asking for the money, you know?
Mm,
And then even though I know I'm going to get paid, there's been a couple clients where it's like, oh yeah, well we need to add you as a vendor to get you paid. And it's like this whole like jumping of hoops kind of thing and like lots of paperwork and it's like a big corporation. And then there's like been times where it's like, yep, just fill out the paperwork on set and a check shows up in 30 days and it's like no big deal. And then there's been times where I've just like let a project go and it's way past 90 days. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I got to do my taxes. I should probably make sure I contact that client. Like, we're more than done with the project at this point. Like, we've done everything that we need to do. And I need to
Right.
like, put on my big girl pants and be like, hey, I need to like settle up at this point, and it's hard to do all that. It's not the fun stuff at all. My little 14-year-old girl side is like, get me out of here. And my ego's like, suck it up, buttercup, like,
Do you know the Marvel hero Luke Cage?
yes, I
Okay.
do. It's
And
got a Netflix show.
Doctor Doom from
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
There
I
is a
do.
comic in like I don't remember when it was written. It's like 1973 or something. There's a comic where Luke Cage goes to I forget what the name of Doctor Doom has like a country that he's the head of.
I don't
He
remember.
goes to Doctor Doom's this country
Yeah.
and he breaks into his home and fights him
Mm.
because Doctor Doom hired him for a job. Was supposed Latvia is the country. He hired him to do a job
Yeah,
and owed him $200. He flew across the world to fight a supervillain over $200.
that's hilarious.
That's how you got to be about your money, Jim.
Yeah, it's true. That's very true.
It's you know,
Mm-hmm.
because they're not gonna if you don't make them pay you, they're not gonna
Yeah.
rush. You know,
Yeah, that's very true. Even when you do all the details, even when you fill out all the paperwork and you send all the stuff in, like one time I had a check show up and it was like half of what I needed to be paid. And it was like, wait a second, there were 2 days I need to be paid for, not one day, and then it's
right,
like you gotta wait and it's anxiety inducing, and if you have to pay bills, it could probably be life changing not to have that check come in the mail. But I did
right,
just recently have a check show up, and I made sure I put it in my phone in my calendar, 30 days, net 30, to remind myself to make sure that to see if it'd come in the mail or not. And it showed up in the mail before I even
nice.
hit 30 days. I was like, yeah. But
Nice.
the other part of it is like they took, because it was SAG-AFTRA, but it wasn't really SAG-AFTRA. They had like a loophole in it. They had to take out federal and they had to take out FICA.
Hmm.
And so I've basically now I have a SAG-AFTRA job underneath my belt, but like
Yeah.
I can't really count it. It's like, I don't know. But that was interesting because I was like, wait a second, why are you taking all those taxes out?
I mean, you can count it for crediting purposes, right?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I added it as an expense inside my voiceover view. So,
Well, no, no. What I mean is that like the stupid requirement of you can't be in the union until you've had union jobs,
oh,
so
right.
you
Yeah, yeah,
could
yeah.
be in the union.
Right, right, right.
Right. You know.
Yeah, I
It's
could technically, I think. I don't know, I guess, but anyways. But I mean I added it as an expense in my voiceover view account, which I'm excited because we have Danny coming on. She's like as a guest, so I'm excited about that. Um I'm excited for you that you did the mocap thing, and I'm glad that you
yeah, it
made
was
it
good.
work. Yeah. And you did it during your work day, right? At lunch?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how was
Well, no,
that?
it was not lunch.
Oh, it wasn't lunch.
As far as records are concerned, I had a doctor's appointment.
Maybe
So
maybe we should not talk
I
about
don't
that.
care.
Okay.
I do not care. I've like everybody except maybe my boss's boss knows that I don't want to be at my job.
Yeah.
I like people at my job, but I don't I want to do voiceover.
Yeah.
I just fire me and give me unemployment. And I'll audition and market all day.
Yes.
Like, but until I can ensure that there is a steady stream of income. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I hear you on that. I would not be able to be doing what I'm doing if I didn't have my man Babe,
Right.
doing the things that he's doing. And it's been tough though in the last few years because even when I think that we're like in a good spot and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go, pedal to the metal. I'm gonna do something bold with my business. And then it's like I spend the money on something that I hope to like expand my business. And then it's like, oh, wait, that job that he had wasn't necessarily as stable as we thought it was going to be,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so it's been this like roller coaster for us too. And
Right.
I'm lucky in a sense that, I have him as like my main, you know, he's the yeah. So I'm the he's the CFO, I'm the CEO of the family, right? So like I
Mhm.
manage everybody and he's like the financial side of things. But I would like to get to a point where I can financially contribute, not just paying for, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like it would be, and I would like to retire into this, I
Right.
mean, like I don't ever want to retire. I just want to be doing what I want to do forever. So I'm going to have a serious mirror talk. I mean, honestly, like I didn't want to get into it with Tom, and I'll get into it with you real quick, but I was like, I've done all the things I'm supposed to do. I've spent
Mhm.
a god awful amount of money investing in my business and myself and my training and time and everything. And it's like, I can't afford for this not to work, like
Mhm.
at this point, not, and, but like Tom said, you have to have a serious talk with yourself, and I
Yeah.
know that I need to pivot. I know I need to make a change. I'm just not exactly sure
What
what.
that is.
Yeah. Is it a business change? Is it like a strategy change? Is it like a mirror talk change? I don't know.
Right.
I'm not sure, but I do know that like it's hard to part of me in the back of my mind is like, you're good, but there's a lot of people out there that are much better than you. And it's a very competitive and saturated market. And I can keep going and doing what I'm doing. I
I'm gonna
know.
say something to you.
I know it's boohoo
The
for
no, no,
me.
no, no, no. People saying it's a very competitive and saturated market in any market is bullshit. It's bullshit. There are in every profession there is,
Tons of people.
people are saying the same thing,
Yeah.
and people are making their livings out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can make a living out of voiceover. And also, I didn't want to take away from the conversation earlier, but it's not my business to say, but uh multiple people who don't have to coach to make a living, who, I mean, obviously they're doing well in voiceover, but it is possible to just do voiceover, you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
So
And
obviously that's not
everybody.
super common,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah.
is possible.
Yeah. Yeah. I was having just a jaded moment in life. And it's hard. It's hard to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
It's hard to put yourself out there, and it's not a poor me. Nobody likes me. Nobody's booking me. Like I'm booking, I'm doing stuff, but I'm not having the success, or I'm not getting to where I need to be. Like my bank account is not being replenished the way that
Right.
I would like it to be replenished. And um, and it comes to a point where like point in time where it's like when's enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? When you have to,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
no, I get it.
yeah. And like when do you like cut your losses, or when do you like have to make such a big pivot that like I am starting to like look in the mirror and understand like what I bring to this industry. Like I'm starting now like that I'm in it, like I understand like what I can bring. Like I'm laid back, but I'm also edgy. I understand that like I can do fitness and outdoor and but it's like how do you take yourself to that next level and find the clients or have those clients find you? Well, it's marketing. And that's what I was going to say earlier was like everything takes money to make money. So
Yeah.
it's like it's really frustrating because I'm at a point now where I'm like, I do not want to spend any more money. I'm like done. My dream is not for sale anymore. Like I do not want to keep spending and putting out all the money in order, you know what I'm saying? Like I understand that I will continuously have to train, but I'm done spending the money.
So
My dream is not for
I
sale.
I I have this
I can
on. I
see
don't
it.
know if you can see it. Can you read
Act or
that?
die trying. Not yes, I like that.
So I have this hanging up in my booth. Um and like I never really want to get into like details of why I am struggling, but
That's okay. You don't have to.
I will say that, like, in all seriousness, me, like, I needed the job that I booked and will hopefully continue being a thing.
Yeah.
But like the past 3 months, I've been late on rent, and then it's like, okay, that's an almost $200 extra charge. All my credit cards are maxed out.
Hmm.
I am at the point where, like, if I don't do well,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to pack all this up and find somewhere else to be.
Yeah.
And the reality is that it would be smart for me to go get a second job, you know, um, and figure that stuff out. But I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I, if I have to fucking break my lease and go move in with family and try to figure that out, then that's what
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to stop pushing because I'm frustrated, because
Yeah.
I'm going to be frustrated until I'm not,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
It's like, fortunately I have family who, I could go to, but like outside of that reality, it's like, if I didn't, the reality would be I do voiceover or I get a second job or just be homeless, you know.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, yeah, it's stressful and it's frustrating, but it's what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to keep pushing until I'm doing that.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
I think I was having a moment where I just feel like I just got a little jaded about the industry, because it feels
Mhm.
like there's a lot of people out there really trying to sell you your dreams. You know what I'm saying? And I bought
Mhm.
into all of it. And I made the decisions that I'd made at the time, to help grow my business. And looking back and reflecting on some of my decisions, I would probably make different decisions or, you know, adjust my decisions, right?
Right.
In certain areas. But you can only make the decisions that you need to make at the time that you're making them. I mean, there's
Yeah.
nothing else you can do.
Right.
And I'm also kind of at a point too where it's like I just don't want to sell my dreams anymore. And how can I continue pushing forward? Like Tom was saying, like you keep banging your head against the same wall. Like I don't want
Mhm.
to do that anymore. So I've completely stopped pay to plays. Like any pay to plays I'm on right now are ones that like I have time left on like my yearly
Right.
subscription. I'm trying to add agents, and I'm trying to whittle down the money going out and trying to increase the money coming in. And, or I'm going to have to take a nice hard look at the mirror and figure out like, where's my energy going? And my energy, I am booking it on camera. So it's like,
Right.
I'm one of those types of people that likes to flow with like the energy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't like to go where the resistance is. I like to go move with it. And so I'm starting to understand that maybe voiceover isn't going to be my main thing. It's not like I'm going to like Jerry Maguire and like leave who's coming with me, like joke around that, and take the fish with me, but maybe it's not, like, but it did get me on this path and it did bring me into this whole wide world of other things that I'm doing. And maybe I need to just accept that, and just
Mhm.
understand that that's what's happening. And it's, not that I'm letting go of that dream, but it just might not be my main dream.
Right.
But I do sometimes feel like I am kind of I'm finding, and it happens on camera too, but I'm finding that like I'm getting a lot of pushback. Like we already have enough of you,
Mhm.
and that's hard to hear because it's like, no, you don't have enough of me because you don't have me, and that's
Right.
hard to hear. I understand the whole basis behind it, but it's like really, if you unpack that whole situation, there's multiple conversations there,
Mhm.
like do I like, and just looking at it from a business strategy point of view, like, do I need to like revamp my demo, right? Do I need to like whittle down and figure out what genres I need to be focusing on? Do I need to like focus more on camera versus voiceover? Like, I know there's all these things, but like, I'm stuck. I'm literally stuck. I'm stuck.
Yeah.
I've hit that wall. Which direction do I go? Help. And
Mhm.
I don't know. And it sounds like, a lot of people are like, oh, like you have to keep going, one foot in front of the other. I've been doing that forever, and I don't want to sound ungrateful. I don't want to sound like a poor me. Nobody likes me. Nobody's booking me because that's not true. I'm getting booked and stuff like that. It's just, I'm not making the incremental wins that I'd like to, you know, and
Mhm.
it's like, when do I have that real conversation with myself? Like, yeah, you're good, but maybe you're not, you know, I don't
Mhm.
know. Maybe I'm not good enough, or what do I need to do to be good enough, And if it's not everything that I've already done, then what?
Right.
You know, I don't know, you know? And somebody brought to my attention, like, maybe I need to figure out who I am. And it's like, well, I kind of think I know who I am. And it's like, wait, now I got to circle back around and go back to therapy? Like, shit, like we've already been there and done that.
I mean, hey, it's important. Everybody's got stuff to work through, and if you can say, "I think I know who I am," then I feel like
I don't.
you're not entirely sure.
I don't like to commit. That's my problem. I like to
Well,
leave things open.
that's
Um,
another thing you
That's another
probably
thing,
should
yeah.
go to therapy.
It might be a trauma response, I'm not sure. But yeah. So, I mean, I'm figuring it out as I go. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But and then the other part of it in my mind is like, well, if you don't know what you're doing or you don't know, you're not completely for sure, on it. It's like you don't want to go to like a hairstylist and have them be like, "Well, I kind of know how to
Right.
cut your hair." Like that's like stay back. So, even though I think like I do know, but like if I am struggling with confidence, it probably is coming through. So, maybe I need to go back to therapy. Good talk. Thank you. For going back
No
to
problem.
therapy.
I probably need to go back to therapy too. Can't afford it right now
I
though. So
don't mean neither. I can't either.
yeah.
I can't either. That's okay.